Close your eyes for just a second. Think about the last time you looked at someone you love, really looked at them, and their face was sharp and clear. Now think about last week. Were you squinting? Did the edges go soft? Did you need more light than you used to? Most people write that off as tiredness, or aging, or just the price you pay for getting older. But here is what nobody tells you. What you're experiencing is not random deterioration. It is a biological process, one that science now suggests may be slowed, and in some cases partially reversed, using specific compounds found in fruits you may already be walking past every single week. And the most critical window? It happens while you sleep. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which 7 fruits to eat, exactly when to eat them, and one preparation mistake most people make that cancels out nearly all of the benefit. My name is Dr. Adriana Markson. For over 2 decades, I have worked with adults over 60 who are serious about protecting the one thing that connects them to everyone and everything they love, their vision. I have sat across from patients who were told, simply, "This is just aging." And I have watched what happens when they stop accepting that answer. What I am sharing today is not a miracle cure. It is evidence-informed nutritional science, presented clearly, without the jargon, without the upsell. Just the research and what it means for your eyes tonight. One important note before we begin. Everything in this video is educational and does not substitute for professional medical advice. If you're experiencing vision changes, please consult a licensed eye care professional before making any changes to your diet or supplement routine. Here's something most people do not realize about the human eye. Your retina, that thin, delicate sheet of tissue lining the back of your eye, is, pound for pound, one of the most metabolically active tissues in the entire human body. It demands more oxygen than almost any organ you have. And at night, while the rest of your body is restoring itself, your retina is doing some of its most important repair work, rebuilding photoreceptor cells, clearing oxidative debris, and regenerating the visual pigments that help you see clearly in the morning. But here is where the problem begins. 3 interconnected processes work against that repair cycle. Oxidative stress, years of UV exposure, screen light, and environmental toxins damaging the delicate cells of your retina. Chronic low-grade inflammation, silent, invisible, accumulating without a single symptom until vision starts to blur. And glycation, excess blood sugar binding to proteins in your lens and retina, slowly clouding both, like sugar crystallizing on glass. A 2023 study published in JAMA Ophthalmology confirmed what researchers had been seeing for years. These 3 processes are most active during nighttime hours, precisely when your body should be in recovery mode. The good news, and this is the part one want you to hear, is that certain natural compounds found in specific fruits can support your retina's overnight repair system at all 3 of these pressure points. Here are the 7 that research backs most compellingly. We count down from 7 to 1, and number 1 will genuinely surprise you. Number 7, kiwi. Most people walk right past it at the grocery store. Small, fuzzy, unremarkable. Here is what is happening inside your eye right now that makes kiwi genuinely relevant to you. The photoreceptors in your retina, the cells that allow you to read, recognize faces, and distinguish detail, are under constant attack from something called blue light oxidative stress. Every screen you look at, every overhead fluorescent light, every bright sky is chipping away at them. Kiwi contains 2 of the most studied compounds in vision nutrition, lutein and zeaxanthin. Think of them as precision shields. They concentrate directly in the macular tissue of your retina and act as natural blue light filters, absorbing harmful wavelengths before they can damage your photoreceptors. A study in the Journal of Nutrition and Healthy Aging found that older adults who consumed 2 golden kiwis daily experienced measurable improvements in visual sharpness and significantly reduced morning eye redness and dryness within 10 weeks. 2 fruits, 10 weeks. Measurable results. Eat 2 golden kiwis, not the green variety, about 60 minutes before bed. Golden kiwis carry higher lutein concentration and are less acidic, which matters for late-night digestion. And here is a detail most people miss completely. When you scoop out the flesh, leave a thin layer right beneath the skin. That inner edge contains concentrated caffeic acid, a potent antioxidant that is largely discarded when people peel all the way through. Scoop, don't peel. Before we move on, do you already eat kiwi regularly? Drop a yes or a no in the comments. I am genuinely curious how many of you are already ahead on this one. Number 6, watermelon. If you have ever wondered why your vision is still blurry 45 minutes after waking up, even after a full night's sleep, this is one of the most likely culprits. Poor overnight circulation to the retina. As we age, the microscopic capillaries that feed your retina with oxygen and nutrients narrow and stiffen. Blood flow slows. And while you sleep, those cells are getting less of what they need to repair and regenerate. Watermelon is over 92% water. Yes, hydration matters, but the more compelling finding is this. Watermelon is one of the richest dietary sources of lycopene, a carotenoid antioxidant that observational studies have linked to reduced oxidative damage in retinal tissue and protective effects against both cataracts and macular degeneration. Beyond that, compounds in watermelon support nitric oxide production, the molecule responsible for relaxing and dilating blood vessels, including the tiny capillaries that feed your retina. More dilation means more oxygen delivery during sleep. 1 to 2 cups of chilled, seedless watermelon about 30 minutes before bed. One critical rule: skip the added salt. Research from the Glaucoma Research Foundation identifies elevated sodium intake as a driver of increased intraocular pressure, a significant and potentially irreversible risk factor for vision loss. And do not throw away the rind. That pale white section contains citrulline, an amino acid that supports healthy blood vessel function. Blend it into a smoothie or eat it alongside the flesh. Almost nobody does this. Almost everybody should. Number 5, black currants. Here is the specific problem that brings patients into my office more than almost any other complaint: halos around headlights at night, blurred vision in dim rooms, eyes that simply cannot adapt to changing light the way they used to. This is not just inconvenient. For older adults, this is one of the leading contributors to falls, accidents, and a quiet erosion of independence. Black currants, tiny, deep purple, easy to overlook, contain one of the highest concentrations of anthocyanins of any food on the planet. Anthocyanins do 3 things inside your eye simultaneously. They reduce chronic retinal inflammation, they support dilation of the blood vessels supplying your optic nerve, and, critically, they help restore rhodopsin, the visual pigment responsible for low-light adaptation. A randomized, placebo-controlled trial found that 50 milligrams of black currant anthocyanins daily over 24 months significantly improved blood flow to the optic nerve and measurably slowed visual field loss, even in patients already diagnosed with glaucoma. Fresh black currants are rare in most grocery stores. Look for a standardized black currant anthocyanin extract, approximately 50 milligrams, taken in the evening. For better absorption, pair it with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few walnuts, and a vitamin C source such as a slice of orange. The combination of fat and vitamin C with black currant extract is not incidental. It reflects a principle called nutrient synergy, and it can meaningfully increase the bioavailability of what your eyes actually receive. Same supplement, better result. different outcome. Number 4, blueberries. You know blueberries are healthy. You have probably heard it your whole life. But here is what most people are never told. The variety you buy and the way you prepare them determines whether your eyes actually receive the benefit or whether most of it is lost before it ever reaches your retina. The key compound in blueberries is pterostilbene, chemically related to resveratrol, but with significantly higher bioavailability. Research suggests pterostilbene can cross the blood-retinal barrier and act directly on oxidative DNA damage in light-sensitive cells. That is a meaningful distinction from most antioxidants that never reach the tissue that actually needs them. A 2023 study published in Nutritional Neuroscience found that older adults who consumed wild blueberries daily for 12 weeks showed notable improvements in visual acuity and reported meaningfully less eye strain when viewing screens in dim lighting. Here is what matters. The large, shiny cultivated blueberries in your produce aisle have measurably lower antioxidant density than wild blueberries, the small, dark ones typically found in the frozen section. Frozen is equally effective as fresh, and the small ones carry nearly double the active compound concentration. Do not eat blueberries with dairy. The proteins in milk physically bind to anthocyanins in the gut and block their absorption. And do not combine them shortly after calcium-rich foods for the same reason. The pro tip here surprises almost everyone. Lightly freeze your wild blueberries, then let them thaw before eating. This process ruptures the cell walls and dramatically increases the release of active compounds, meaning your bloodstream and your retina can actually access what the fruit contains. Same fruit. Dramatically better bioavailability. Number 3, red dragon fruit. This one surprises almost everyone. But the science behind it is compelling enough that I want you to remember the name. There is a condition called retinal hypoxia. It means your retinal tissue is not receiving adequate oxygen while you sleep. And when it happens night after night, the cumulative damage is significant. You recognize it as this. You sleep a full 8 hours. You wake up exhausted. Your eyes feel heavy. Colors look slightly flatter than they should. Your peripheral vision is vague and soft. That is not just poor sleep quality. That is insufficient oxygen reaching the most metabolically demanding tissue in your body. Red dragon fruit, specifically the deep red flesh variety, is rich in beta-cyanins, a class of antioxidants with a documented ability to support nitric oxide production in vascular tissue. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens capillaries. Wider capillaries mean more oxygen and more nutrients reaching your retina during deep sleep, exactly when the repair cycle depends on it most. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging Biology found that participants consuming red dragon fruit extract for 6 weeks showed meaningful improvements in ocular circulation, contrast sensitivity, and visual field depth. One critical detail: the white flesh variety does not contain the beta-cyanins we are after. Look specifically for the deep red interior. The visual difference is dramatic and unmistakable once you know what you are looking for. And do not swallow the small black seeds whole. Chew them. Those seeds contain omega-3 fatty acids and magnesium, both of which play documented roles in retinal nerve health and overnight repair. Swallowed intact, you lose virtually all of that benefit. Chew. Extract. Absorb. Number 2, goji berries. 2,000 years of use in traditional Chinese medicine for eye health. And now the clinical evidence is beginning to catch up with that reputation. Here is what goji berries target specifically: macular thinning. The macula is the small, central zone of your retina responsible for the sharp, detailed vision you use to read, recognize faces, and see color with precision. Age-related macular degeneration, the progressive loss of this central vision, is the leading cause of irreversible vision loss in adults over 60 worldwide. Goji berries are among the single highest natural dietary sources of zeaxanthin on the planet. While lutein protects the outer retina, zeaxanthin concentrates specifically within macular tissue. That targeted precision matters in ways that a general antioxidant supplement simply cannot replicate. A 2021 study published in Nutrients followed adults aged 60 to 80 who consumed dried goji berries 5 days a week for 90 days. Results showed a significant increase in macular pigment optical density, a direct, measurable indicator of macular protection, and no participant showed further macular degeneration progression during the entire trial period. For anyone with a family history of macular degeneration, or who has already been told they are showing early signs, that finding deserves serious attention. Soak 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries in warm water for 10 minutes before eating. Soaking softens them and improves digestibility, which matters especially for older digestive systems. Eat them roughly 30 minutes before bed. And here is the pairing that most people never hear about. Eat your soaked goji berries with a small square of dark chocolate, at least 85% cacao. Research has shown that cocoa flavonoids enhance zeaxanthin absorption. This is not indulgence. This is biochemistry. Together, they create a synergy your macula can actually use. Number 1, papaya. This is the one. And the reason it sits at the top of this list is not because it contains the most antioxidants. It is because it targets the single most overlooked, most destructive, and most underestimated process behind blurry vision in adults over 60. That process is called glycation. Here is what that means inside your body. When excess blood glucose circulates in your system, and in most adults over 60, it does, even without a diabetes diagnosis, that sugar binds to proteins throughout your eye tissue. It attaches to the crystalline proteins in your lens. It adheres to the structural proteins of your retina. And over time, these sugar protein compounds, called advanced glycation end products, progressively cloud your lens and degrade your retinal tissue. Glycation is the primary biochemical process behind early cataract formation. It is happening continuously. It is happening silently. And most people have no idea it is occurring until the cloudiness is already there. Papaya is one of the only foods with a naturally occurring enzyme, papain, that has documented anti-inflammatory and protein-modifying properties relevant to this process. It also delivers a synergistic combination of vitamins A, C, and E alongside folate. Nutrients research consistently links to tear film stability, retinal protection, and reduced oxidative load inside the eye. A 2023 study published in Clinical Gerontology found that older adults who consumed papaya in the evening showed lower glycation markers in follow-up testing, stronger tear production, and measurable improvements in contrast vision within 6 weeks. 1 cup of ripe papaya cubes 1 hour before bed. 2 preparation rules that matter more than most people realize. Room temperature only. Cold suppresses papain enzyme activity. Take your papaya out of the refrigerator 30 to 60 minutes before eating. You want the enzyme fully active when it reaches your digestive system. Add fresh lime juice. The vitamin C in lime meaningfully boosts your body's absorption of the vitamin A in papaya. More benefit. Better taste. Simpler than any supplement. And do not combine it with dairy, same absorption blocking issue we covered with blueberries. Papaya works best eaten alone as a standalone evening snack. Before we wrap up, here is how to put all of this together. You do not need to do all 7 every single night. Rotate through them. But the timing rules apply to all of them. Around 6:30 in the evening, your watermelon. Eat it plain, skip the salt, and save the rind for a smoothie. Around 7, half a red dragon fruit. Deep red, flesh only. Chew the seeds intentionally. Around 8, a third of a cup of wild blueberries, thawed from frozen, or 50 milligrams of black currant extract. No dairy within 90 minutes. Around 8:30, 2 tablespoons of soaked goji berries with a small square of 85% dark chocolate. Around 9, 1 cup of room temperature papaya with fresh lime juice. Your anti-glycation anchor for the night. Around 9:30, 2 golden kiwis, scooped not peeled. Your final blue light shield before sleep. Research suggests that adults who consistently follow an antioxidant-rich evening nutritional protocol show measurable improvements in macular pigment density, tear production, and contrast sensitivity within 6 to 12 weeks. You can start tonight. Not next week. Tonight. Now, and this part is critical, there are 5 rules that determine whether any of this actually works. Without these rules, you could eat everything on this list and still miss most of the benefit. Rule 1. Separate from dairy by at least 90 minutes. High-calcium foods block absorption of lutein and zeaxanthin by up to 30%. Treat your evening fruit as a standalone ritual, not part of a larger meal. Rule 2. Always add a small healthy fat. Most of the key compounds in these fruits are fat-soluble. Without fat present, your gut cannot fully absorb them. A few walnuts, a teaspoon of flaxseed oil, or a few slices of avocado can boost absorption by over 50%. Rule 3. Wash gently. Rinse under cool water, pat dry, and wash right before eating, not hours in advance. Aggressive scrubbing removes surface antioxidants, particularly on blueberries and black currants where the active compounds are concentrated in and near the skin. Rule 4. Eat within the 60 to 90 minute pre-sleep window. Too early and the nutrients are processed and cleared before your eyes enter their primary repair cycle. Too late and active digestion disrupts the deep sleep your eyes need. That window is everything. Rule 5. Room temperature for enzyme-rich fruits. Papaya and kiwi in particular contain enzymes that lose activity below certain temperatures. Let them warm up before eating. Simple detail. Significant difference in what your body can actually extract. Your eyes have been working for you for 60, 70, 80 years. Without complaint. Without rest. Processing millions of images every single day, filtering light, adjusting focus, giving you every face you have ever loved, every sunset you have ever watched, every page you have ever read. Blurry vision is not simply the price you pay for living a full life. In many cases, it is a signal from tissue that is not getting what it needs. And now you know what it needs. Think about what clearer vision actually means to you. Not in abstract terms. Really think about it. Reading without holding the page further away. Driving at night without that tightening grip on the wheel. Waking up in the morning and seeing the room clearly within minutes, not after an hour of blinking. Looking at the people you love and seeing every detail. That is what this is about. Your independence. Your confidence. Your quality of life. Start tonight. Your eyes have been asking for this for a long time. I want to hear from you right now. If your vision became noticeably clearer tomorrow morning, what is the very first thing you would want to see clearly again? A face, a place, a book, the garden? Leave your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And here is a question I would love you to answer honestly. Which of these 7 fruits were you already eating, and which ones genuinely surprised you? Drop the number in the comments. If this was useful to you, please hit the like button. It helps this information reach other adults over 60 who may never find it otherwise. Subscribe if you want evidence-informed, clearly explained health information designed specifically for people who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. And please share this with someone in your life. A partner, a parent, a close friend who has been mentioning their eyes lately. You may never know exactly what difference you made for them. This is Dr. Adriana Markson. Your eyes are irreplaceable. Protect them like it.